gift card today. That thing takes.
This Three Beards Media podcast may contain mature themes and may not be suitable for all audiences.
Oh, hello there. What's going on, y'all? What's going on?
That was dope.
You haven't seen the new intro, have you?
Been in the
That's the new
studio.
intro, man.
Yeah, they changed it up on us. We must have got some money. I mean, I ain't seen it, but we must have got
Yeah, say that.
Editing it. We got our producer in the background. Money. What's up, y'all?
What up,
Man,
fellas?
what up? What up?
Chilling, man. Just trying to get back into this. Oh, they're doing stars and said, that popped up on there. Okay, nice. Send stars for this. Get the Trice Legacy Foundation stuff going on. But I started talking about. I had this whole thing written. I'm looking at it right now, and these little points. And I'm gonna start it off with one thing. So me and Shipley were on before this, and we were talking about getting guests on. And I sent Troy Davis a message. He can't get on tonight because he's in the Keys fishing. So hopefully he catches some maui and some swordfish and do some good fishing out there in the Florida Keys. So shout out to him out there. We'll get him on here soon. But I was watching the other day. I was talking to my homeboy, and my wife was out in the thing, and she knows when I listen to watch Key and Peele. And when I heard all these gambling accusations and stuff like that, I looked at her, I said, you know what I said? I said, bitch. Did you really say that to her? Huh? Yeah, that's what I said. Yep. So I'm listening to all this stuff that's going on. It's like, man, this can't really be happening. This can't be reality going on right now, but it is. It's the reality of what it is. But this is us in the side of storm. Three Beards Media producing us, Revelton our sponsor, your boy George Trice, Curveball, Big Play Curvey, and Marcus Pfizer, the big man down there, Hunger Lows, and everything like that. So, as we stop, we kind of, summertime, we kind of pause. Not a lot going on. So before we really jump into it, what y'all been up to this summer? I did run one day a RAGBRAI. I did that. I'm actually training for it for next year. I actually got me a Peloton. And I extended the payment to the long haul. But I got a Peloton. I do spinning classes in California, and then I stopped. But I was on it today, man, sweating to the oldies today, man. But I'm gonna do.
You're almost there. Keep going.
Right? Cadence
you
up.
Got it.
Up, down. You got it. Keep going. I'm like, what the hell? But hey, it's actually pretty fun, man, and it actually makes you do some stuff. And I'm competing with one of the people at Iowa State, Toya. She's the vice president, student provost, and she has one too. So she's gonna ride part of it with me next year. But that's what I've really been up to. Nothing much this summer. Just been kind of chilling. What you been up to, Brent?
Working, trying to sling some kolaches, man. Was at RAGBRAI. It was crazy hot. Wasn't as fruitful as one would have wished, but it was quite the learning experience. So all gravy.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Traveling kids all over the place, and now we're back in with football. So football.
You get practice tonight, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Every night of the week now. It's time to lock in and get ready to rock and roll, man.
When's your first game?
August 25th. I
Okay.
believe that's the first Friday. So
Okay.
we play Ames, actually. We play Ames in Waukee. So
okay. Well, if you
Right
got a
here at
game
home,
on the Friday before the Trice 100 game, so October 6th, if you got a game
October
there,
6th.
I'm gonna try to come. I'll come down to the game out there in Waukee
sure
because
the heck
I don't think I got any unless Iowa State make me do something nationwide, maybe because nationwide, who pays my bills, they may
There it
want me to
is.
do some stuff too. But I'm trying to. It's like that's one of the things. Like I hate telling people when I come in town because I'm like, oh yeah, I see you. And then my
Mhm.
whole schedule, I done said it to you like twice. Then my whole schedule changed because it's like everybody pulled me in certain directions. It's like not living there. And I've been talking to the wife, like, I want to move back to Iowa. She knows I want to move back to Iowa. And because of everything I'm doing for the state of Iowa, with the universities, with the trying to build in these relationships with these elementary schools and high schools, this is where I need to be. I got vacation days, and that's when I normally take my vacation days and come out there. But I need to do more out there, and I would love to be out there, man. I just miss it.
Yeah, it ain't shabby. It's the winners. It's always the winners that make
But we done had 30 some days of over 110 here. So I know it's the cold out there, but I can't go outside at 110. My skin burn. Like this is our winter hibernation. You had your winter hibernation. So I get it, but I could deal with the snow a little bit sometimes. You ain't got to go out and you can throw balls at somebody. You throw them snowballs.
That's it.
I want to peg my little daughter. She's 5 years old. I want to peg her in the face with a ball sometimes. Oh, bow, go somewhere. Anyway, but that's rude. That's a child abuse right there. So Marcus,
what up? I mean, just same old. The AAU season is over. Just getting the kids ramped back up in school. Marcus Jr. is down at the he's playing in the OTE league this season, so he's gonna use that as the grad year.
Okay.
To continuously get better, stronger, get some different looks that he ultimately had at the end of the season this year. So we honored and supported that. So he's back down there in Phoenix with you again. Somehow he loves Phoenix down there. So I mean, hopefully they could parlay into something like Arizona State or Arizona or something down there. And then hopefully the Sun. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it is.
But I mean, the kids are just back in school, just getting back into that rat race of up at 6 o'clock in the morning, dropping kids off, getting the ones ready for school, for the bus to go to school on a bus, and just being that family man.
That's what's up.
Hey, vitamin C and vitamin D them up, man. So I already know how them cesspools go when school start.
Man, we already started out here. We started on the 3rd, and my daughter came on with a cough on the 4th, like. Because she was with grandma for a month, so she wasn't around the kids. So they lose that immunity, And so she lost that immunity and got sick right away. I'm like, then I had to take cough drops the other day. I'm like, man, you passed that little crap to me. So man, it's crazy.
I gotta step off, take a call real fast.
Go ahead. Joel, I'm trying, man. I'm trying. I'm always trying. I love being back there. And Mary, we got some hats. Tell me what color you want. We getting some more. We're gonna have them at the tailgate. So FYI, I'll try to get some visors too, but FYI, we are having a tailgate. The tailgate for the Trice Legacy Foundation is going to be before the Jack Trice 100 game against TCU. Hy-Vee sponsoring. They're providing the food for us, and they decided to donate that to us. We'll have some special things from Hy-Vee that haven't been released yet that will be coming out soon, and we'll talk about that, or some things that are giving back to the foundation. But have some food. We'll have the Jack Trice, the Legend beer that we have going on right now with Peachtree and First Down Brewing. And so we actually pre-sold out of the first order. We were going to do 500 cases, pre-sold that one, did another one for 500, pre-sold that one. So now we're on the 3rd. So the thing is, my man Sam Anker. Do you know Sam Anker? He was a long snapper, walk on.
Heard of him? I don't know him.
In 2010. Yeah. Okay,
I've heard of him.
He started First Down Brewing out of Winterset, and he was on the podcast that last week or whatnot. But we told Peachtree, we're like, hey, we gonna sell more than 500 cases, and so we did it. So it was good. It was good.
Man, that's dope, man.
Yeah, I mean, dope. It's just it's coming together. The 100th anniversary, it's coming together very well. Athletics is doing a lot out there from the merchandise, and I don't know if it's Jack Trice merchandise or just Iowa State merchandise because they call it the commemorative collection, but I don't know who's commemorating because they don't say. Sometimes it says Jack Trice, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
People know I'm kind of people have been seeing some of my posts and they kind of been. Hey, I have a little beef. We have family beef. Our family.
That's
beef, right?
A little misunderstanding. No furniture moving though.
We talk it out. We fight, but we still love each other. I mean, I'm a Cyclone to the heart, and they just got to know that. But I'm gonna leave that one alone. I'm done with that one. But yeah, so as we look at this summer, I saw a couple of things. I've been watching this preseason. I don't like watching preseason. But this year I watched preseason a lot because we had Will McDonald out there that I wanted to see him get in and get some reps in there for the Jets. We had Anthony Johnson Jr. out there for Green Bay. I wanted him to see him get some reps out there. So I was able to catch them and, throw some things up on the screen from me taking pictures of that. So it's good to see these young men out there fulfilling their dream. And, hopefully they've been drafted, but hopefully, that they're keeping that 53 roster, because I don't know much about that. I want to have somebody on about that cutting. I would love to have somebody on talking about, getting that team down to 53 because you have this depth that you have. And, I look at somebody like look at the 49ers, look at Brock. And I look at him coming back from his injury. And Trey Lance was in there the other day, and he was 10 for 15, I think, something like that. He had a good completion record, had like 100 yards, but he didn't look like he was comfortable, And then I saw Garoppolo on the sidelines for who was he with, the Raiders?
Yep.
I think Garoppolo was the Raiders.
Yeah,
right?
Raiders.
Yeah, he was on the sideline of the Raiders. He's getting ready. So I mean, they got him out there. So it's Purdy's job, but it's like, what do? You gave up so much for Trey Lance. So what do you do? I saw Bryce Young. He wasn't looking that good yet. It's a big change going from college to the pros. You think you think it's the same, but it's not. And it's the same
game speed is so different, man.
Your transition from high school to college, because I look at my transition, and so when I was playing in high school, 6'2", 300 pounds roughly. That was a lineman. That was a small lineman, but that was the size of East Coast ball. East Coast, South ball, West Coast ball, they're small and fast. And then you come to somewhere like the Midwest, and I came out when I came out to Iowa State to visit and everything like that. I stayed with the football players and went out there, and one of my best friends now is still Marcel Howard, and he's 6'7", 370, 350 at that time, something like that. I'm like, yeah, I can't play with you. I can't do it. And it's like, what, that transition and say, okay, do I change positions? I got here to do this. What do you do? And so right now, this is that time, and I know. Some people look at this and say, they're putting all these people in there. Who's going to get there? What they're going to do? But cutting that roster down, it's just got to be hard. It's just got to be hard on them and all that.
I mean, I was a part of it. And that was the worst call I ever got. Was hey son, make sure you bring that playbook. Damn.
So tell us about that. Tell us about that. While we in the
morning. It was just that it's one of those final cuts. So went through all the preseason games and all of that stuff, man, and it's just that we're sitting in a hotel room, and if your phone ring at 6:00, it's never a good thing, because they call and then saying, hey, your ride will be downstairs in about 30 minutes, so make sure you bring your playbook with you. Coach Fox want to see you. Oh, okay.
Did you make it through all 4 preseason games and then get the call? Yeah,
I was like, man, I got a shot.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's all good though. So
then how did you? So then what did you decide? How did you bounce back? What was your next steps when you got that? Because your life was going to change. You thought it was going to go a certain way, and it changed. As a young man, as a black man, how did it change? How did you cope with that? How'd you deal with that? And what was just your talk to yourself after that?
Well, I mean, I kind of weighed the good and the bad, man. So I kind of came in, and there was like 13 D tackles for rookie camp. And I was like, this is crazy, because there's not 5 or 6 teams that are going to get that many reps. So really just competing and knowing I trusted myself. I wasn't worried about nobody else. I knew I could play. Just a matter of getting the right scheme, whatever. And I got kicked out of one practice because D'Angelo D'Angelo Williams was the running back at the time. You know, he was the guy in Carolina, and I was a playmaking type of D tackle. I wasn't a hold the front, because I was behind Chris Jenkins, who was 6'5", 380. And there's a Samoan cat, Make Kimoyatu. His brother played for Pittsburgh, and he was 6'3". He was another 380, damn near 400 pounds. And I'm 6 foot 305. I can't do anything that y'all do. So, you know, got kicked out of practice for smacking D'Angelo. But, I mean, it was one of those things, man, where I knew I could still play somewhere. And I was at home for a week, and I ended up going to Canada and played in the CFL. So, I mean, it sucked. I just knew I was ready for the rat race and to grind it out, whatever it looked like, because football was it. There was no backup. It was, I got to make it type of thing, because I had a son and there was no turning back. So I just, you know, kind of put the best foot forward and ended up working out better for me, man. So, you know, I think whatever my career was supposed to do, it did. Man, I couldn't change a thing about it, man.
We all at the place we're supposed to be. I've hired, you know, working for Nationwide for 17 years. I hired a wide receiver from the he played for the Steelers, and I didn't want to hire him because I'm a Browns fan. But you know, so you know, I had hired another cat who was a baseball player, pitcher for baseball, and he hurt his shoulder and he couldn't do it no more. And you know, you look at these people that they've had this lifestyle, they live this lifestyle. MLB money is a little bit different, you know, than other money too. And you know, when I talked to him, you know, he really wasn't accepting the fact that he wasn't an athlete like that man anymore. Like he wasn't that anymore. He was doing something just to get a paycheck, and knew it wasn't going to last for him because it wasn't what he wanted. And then, you know, a few year later or so like that, I interviewed this cat that used to be an ex-football player, and I had the right question for him, because I learned from the other guy that I talked to, and I said, look, you're used to this money, you're used to this situation, and now you are here. You got injured and you can't go back to that. Why are you here, and what do you want to do? And, you know, his answer, you know, reassured me that he understood that life is the life that he wanted. It's not the life that he can have because of the situation, and that he was here to make that change. And so it's like, you got to get in your mind that it's a different mindset now when you don't make it to that, when you have to leave that level. You know, so it's just, you know, just much respect to people that go through that, to get to those levels. And especially in this time, these kids that have worked their life to get here. This has been their dream to get to this spot. You know, you look at somebody like D Wade, you know, business basketball, D Wade get in the Hall of Fame. You know, that's what he always wanted to do, and he give back to the game somehow. And you know, you hope these kids that don't make it to the league the way they want to still find some way to give back to the sport that they love, whether it's coaching like you do, coach high school football, you know, coaching, mentoring kids, because they need that. They need to hear those stories of the, you know, the successes and the hardships of this world. And they don't always hear that from the right mentors or the right people. So, you know, most shout out to them. So, you got anything to add to that, Marcus? You back with it? You good?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you know, we all go through it as athletes, and you know, it always comes to a point where, you know, when people say when it's time to retire or when it's time to, you know, hang the shoes up, how you're gonna feel. Ultimately, I mean, those last couple of years, you know, those wheels not turning like they normally would be, and things like that. You know, for me, I just started to have a lot of like calf strains and quad strains. You know, the fine twitch muscles weren't twitching like they should have been. So ultimately, you know, me and my wife had our youngest daughter who's 8 years old now, and my last season playing when I was overseas, I just, you know, I knew once she came that was going to be it. And for me, it wasn't a hard thing. It wasn't a hard situation, anything like that. Like, it was just, you know, just a new chapter, a different time in life, to find something else to do, you know, to be there for the kids and things like that, and just, you know, raise the family. So for others, it may be a little bit, you know, harder. You know, I mean, we all have our own vices and things that we go through, but for me, it was just a different transition in life. You know, just glad that a lot of those aches and pains from practicing the games and stuff was going to be gone. But, you know, it's just understanding that the time had gotten there, and they got there fast. You know, I remember, you know, MJ and Scotty and Patrick Ewing and all those guys when I first came in, and they were, you know, 36, 37 years old, 35 years old. That was old as hell to us, you know, at the age of 21, 22. And then before you know it, you know, we were there. So definitely appreciate everything that, you know, came along with it, you know, without a doubt. And, you know, just living his life as a dad now. And like you said about Brett, you know, just a coach.
Yep. Toya says time flies for sure. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Toya is a vice president, student provost. I think that's your right title, Toya. If I'm wrong, you know, please correct me on the pod. But she's out here listening to us. You know, but when you think about you know, so we're talking. This is all about cyclones and stuff like that. But I was looking at the news earlier, and James Harden. So when you look at something like James Harden, he's been on these two different teams and goes there with these expectations, and then it just doesn't work out. You know, what is going through his mind right now? What's going through everyone's mind when they see that? Because James Harden is going to be 34. You talk about the 34, 35-year-olds. James Harden about to be 34. I know he's still got some stuff in the tank, but is he going to be the same? Is it going to be the same for him?
Well, that when you've had that level of superstardom, that's a little different dynamic of, you know, just going ahead to understand that you're on the other side of the hill. You know, when you see somebody like LeBron that's in year 20 and still doing it at a super high level, and you're a couple years younger than him or around that age, you're like, damn, well, you know why? But you see and you understand it, and then the same at the same time, the dynamic of, you know, getting paid $30-40 million a year, that comes with a little cachet of, you know, I still may be the man. So he's been on quite a few different teams. He's had a lot of success. Obviously, he's not the player that he was 10 years ago. We all know that. But he does definitely still have a lot in the tank, a lot to offer. At this point right now, you don't know if he's trying to bank out or if he's trying to, you know, ring out or whatever it is that he's trying to do. But, you know, it can get ugly real fast. And I haven't looked into the contract and things like that. I don't really know who has the leverage. By the way he's talking, it kind of seems like the team has the leverage, but he's trying to force his way out of it. And, you know, it's never good when it gets to that point. You know, it should be a balance of, you know, equal 50-50. You know, the team is going to profit off of what's going on and you're going to profit off of what's going on, but it can get ugly fast.
Yeah. Toya said they get old just like us. We are getting old. Toya FaceTimed me earlier today. She was at the fair and she was showing the Iowa State exhibit. It was pretty cool. They got the uniform for the Jack Trice 100 game. Then they got a little cutout where the kids can put their face in it to act like they're wearing a uniform. You can take a picture of that. And then they have they made an 11-foot by 11-foot replica of the Breaking Barriers sculpture. And so people can actually walk through it to kind of get a little bit of experience of it. So it's pretty cool with that. And then, you know, the Butter Jack, the Butter Kurt Warner, and the Butter Caitlin Clark. You know, those are kind of cool. I talked to the mom. The mom is teaching her daughters the trades. Her daughters have been apprenticing with her to take over this butter stuff. And I found out that the butter is the same butter they've been using since 2005. So this butter is like, if I'm not mistaken, it's like 18 years old. Like they keep putting it back together and they reuse it when they make these things, so they don't have to keep making the butter. Because all it is in a cold place. It doesn't get
wow.
That
sounds like a McDonald's burger.
That mystery meat. They got that mystery butter in there.
But no, there's shoot, I can't think of it, but there's a bread place in San Francisco, one of these bread companies, and they use part of the original bread. Butter believe it, Sam said. They have some of the same bread yeast in the bread, and they've used a piece of that every single time for all these years. So a little bit of the original is in that bread. It's weird. It's good bread, I guess. You know, and the butter is there. You know,
everything's better with butter, I guess.
Yep. Hey, Sam, I already told everybody about we're on third batch of the Legend beer. So everybody's excited about that. So Do we want to get into the meat of this, or do I mean it's
Rip the Band-Aid off, man.
rip the Band-Aid off. Okay, gambling. Let's do it. Let's gamble. Okay, shit, we're already ready. All right. So I made this comment. If NIL was fair, would this be going on? And my answer to that was yes. And I was like, NIL is more pay to play. That's what it's coming to instead of the name, image, and likeness. It's actually being that pay to play. So, a couple things. Athletes who place bets on their own teams or their school sporting events face permanent ineligibility according to NCAA rules. That's in the bylaws. That's in there. That's happening. Even though gambling has been legalized since these rules were there, this is what it is. 15 charges have been filed in the ongoing sports betting investigation. And when I looked at the numbers of the people that have been doing it, it's been like $888 between that and like a little over $12,000 have been the amounts wagered. So this morning, Isaiah Lee withdrew from the program and left. He was one of the ones accused. Started all 12 games last year. And I think he was the one that bet on the Texas game when we actually won. He lost on the Texas game. He bet against us, and we won 30-7, I believe. Jarrell Brock, Deshaun Hanukkah, and then Jacob Rinsberg, they facing charges for tampering, that as well. And then again, you have Hunter Deckers, who's going to be our starting quarterback for this year. So when we talk about that, that's what's going on in Iowa State right now. You talk about, Ua from Denver, he's actually gone. What did they say? They say he roughly placed 800 sports bets on FanDuel, totaling $21,000, including 2 Iowa State football games in the 2021 season in which he played. So he bet when he was playing, and then he got in trouble because he was betting on the Broncos games as well. But it's not just us, because I'm not just going to call us out on this. Former members of Iowa State, of our Iowa football team, criminal investigation. So junior wide receiver, a student manager, and then some other former ones that are now ones at Oklahoma State now and ones at Troy. So they've transferred between this. So a lot of this is going on, and it's not just, we had an Iowa State, I think, wrestler, an Iowa wrestler, like betting on basketball games, betting on games which they didn't participate in. And what do you think? Because if they're doing it, refs are doing it. And so now when this all comes out, and I look at some of the calls when I was at some of the games last year, I'm like, oh, now he bet. I know he bet on that one because that play that he called. Right. I remember that when I was sitting right there and everybody in the stadium knew. So when you think about that, what is y'all take on this?
I don't know, man. I go a couple ways. Okay. I think if it wasn't for blue chips, I don't think none of this would even matter. So
what would blue chips look like if it was made today?
It's crazy.
That's what I think about.
It'd be gold chips.
It'd be gold chips.
It'd be gold
all
chips.
Across the globe. Right. Crazy.
Nick Nolte wouldn't have no move.
But man, it's like, I don't know. My old man told me something a long time ago. Like, you can get yourself in more trouble in 5 minutes and you can get yourself out of it in a lifetime. So like these dudes are betting for peanuts. Mm-hmm. Like if it's a life-changing amount of money, I might say, I kind of get it.
Yeah.
But when you're betting $20-$30, maybe it's $100. The max you're probably gonna win is $1,000, but you risk everything.
Yep.
That shit ain't worth it.
Yep.
So I think a lot of these kids are doing it just for the sport. Like, oh shit, I just want to do it. Oh, bet that. Let's just bet that. Mm-hmm. Well, no, don't bet that shit because you're gonna lose everything once you do. That's crazy. But I'm curious to see who else is gonna feel the brunt of this because obviously Iowa State is a very small piece of this puzzle. But we're gonna be the poster child for it because we're the first ones to really have all of these guys involved and they're getting all this publicity behind it. So I mean, I hate it for us, but this shit ain't just start. It's been going on for years. You know what I'm saying? Across the globe. It's just a matter of how they start unraveling all of this. But I mean, that's just young men trying to be young men, man. Following the crowds.
When you
seems cool.
What was your in 98? I think the stipend was like $600 a month. What was your stipend? What was your stipend when you was there?
Man, I don't even remember. I was talking to my son about this the other day, and I was like, shit, I just remember paying $600 a month with my 4 roommates and having like $200 left over, maybe for the month.
So,
so maybe $800.
So that's why I bring it. Like, Marcus, I don't know what your stipend was either on scholarship and stuff like that. And the reason why I bring it up, I'll let you talk here in a minute, but the reason why I bring that up is because these kids, me, you all walk around in Nike Iowa State gear all the time because you can't afford to go buy no jeans. Yeah. You don't have enough to go and do what a normal student does because you got to go to school, you got to go to sports, you're on a trip and you wait for 4 days, and then you got to come back and so that's $600 to go for, you got your food paid and you're supposed to have your housing paid, but if you move off campus, that money doesn't go as far. So you look at the money these kids get for all that they give and all that they have to sacrifice. And I see why they look at, oh man, if I hit this one, that's $600. I'm matching what I'm already getting for this month. I can see it and how they're thinking about it because no one's really talked to them about money. But that's one of the things that I go to. So I'll turn it over to you, Mark.
Well, someone has spoken to them about betting, without a doubt about that. Like, what is this? The 14th? I turned 45 4 days ago. And I still don't know what a money line is. I still don't know what the plus minus is for betting. Like, seriously.
And he lives in Vegas, folks.
And I live in Vegas. I have no idea how to bet on nothing. And I made that a fact, especially when I was playing in college and in the pros, because I never wanted no one to, accuse me of cheating or anything like that. Like it was more of a focus of one, being a good student, because that was strenuous enough, and then you got to go to practice and deal with Tim Floyd or Larry Eustace. Then you got the Big 12, how tough the Big 12 is, football or basketball, whatever sport that you want to bring up. It's a super tough conference. So my focusness was just on, maximizing whatever I could at the time that I could, and focus on that. I didn't have time to try to learn how to bet. I didn't learn how to shoot craps until I got to the pros, and literally learn on flights watching these guys, shoot craps. Because I was, you can call me square, you can call me green, you can call me whatever. I literally did not know how to do it. And
you was in there flipping quarters with Jordan, wasn't you? You was flipping them quarters against the wall with Jordan.
Them cats, the chips I've seen on them tables is not quarters. But I just didn't want to be associated with anything like that because I knew, the greater picture for me was, the couple of years that I was going to have to spend at Iowa State, 1 through 4, 5 if it took 5 or however many years or whatever. But I didn't want to focus on that. I knew that the greater picture was more important for me in the long run and for my family. But as you say, we as student athletes, we don't get the chance to have a job and make a lot of money or make any money at all. And the time wise, practice, games, study hall, going to class and all of that. Would I have risked it in that time or this time? No, absolutely not. But you have guys who may not play as much as other guys that may, feel like, well, it'll never be found out. Well, now we're living in a time of, information superhighway. Everybody can get any kind of information that they want at the snap of a finger. It's just not worth it to try it, man. It's just not worth it. And to be a star player, I'm totally blown away that our starting quarterback is somehow wrapped up in this in whatever capacity. And now we gotta, it was tough last year. Last year was tough, and we were excited about this season. A year under his belt, a year under Jarrell's belt, and we just we're gonna come out and give this thing a better shot this year. Now we're sitting like, what the hell are we gonna do?
Yeah,
I mean, I'm thinking like, what the hell did he do when he was playing in some of those games?
So hold on, we're gonna come back to that. I'm gonna let you finish, but we got to take a break for Revelton because I want people to think about this and pause while we talk about it. So, hey, roll that ad from Revelton.
I gotta step off again real quick.
All right, for sure.
At Revelton Distilling Company, everyone has become a part of the Revelton family. From the Taylors and their daughter who helped perfect their award-winning gins, to the team who installed Lucy, our 33-foot tall custom-made still, right down to the local farms that provide our coveted corn, and even the cows on those farms who consume our mash byproduct. Want to see the farm to flask come to life? Now you can tour Lucy and find out where we take Iowa's harvest and transform it into our finest spirits. Choose between a 45-minute tour or find out even more by scheduling a VIP behind-the-scenes tour to get the taste of the full Revelton experience. You can visit them at 1400 West Clay Street in Osceola, Iowa, or find all of Revelton's award-winning spirits at any local grocery or spirits retailer.
That's what's up. So go ahead. So we lost Marcus for a minute, but go ahead, curveball.
So to think about this, right? I think about, I mean, you're talking about 80% of your team is trying to go to the league, right? Nobody's just playing college sports just to be playing. We're trying to literally play at the next level. So to run that back and say, well, the guy who probably has the most impact on the game bet on these games, that would run me hot. Because at the end of the day, NFL scouts look at winning teams. Teams that go to the college football playoff, teams that go to bowl games, stuff like that. And you're talking about we may have missed our chance to go to a bowl game because of 2 games that we lost. And this guy has a chance to make 2 or 3 throws, but underthrew him, overthrew him. I'm probably ready to take your effing head off, for lack of better words. Like, now you messing with my opportunity too, because I put a $20 bet on us to lose this game. So for $200, you messing up my whole career. Yeah, that shit would never sit right with me. I might have a vendetta with him for life because I hold grudges. So that'll be a tough pill to swallow.
You're right. It's already hard enough to get to that next level. And if you have somebody that's, deterring it that you can't control, the quarterback is the leader of the team. The quarterback, and the quarterback, they're supposed to be the leader off the field. You're supposed to hold yourself to a high standard. And I'm going to say this because of, what I know Matt Campbell does, and they read the Jack Trice letter. They know what Jack Trice's character was. Yep. And everybody slips up. Everybody slips up. I get that. But when you know that this is something that's illegal, that's something that's going to hurt you, and you're looking at playing in the character of this stadium, knowing what's going on, and you do these things for that little bit of money, it's like, Hunter, you were going to probably go to the league and make your money.
Had a chance, yeah.
This now will say you will not have your chance to make your money. But now, again, like you said, you've now ruined it for a couple other people that potentially had it. They may have been there to see Deckers, but then I make that big play, and now I'm getting noticed. But now I don't get to make that big play because you shorted me on that one, or we missed the snap. We missed it. We had a miscommunication, and it's weird, and it's like it's more apparent now. But I remember back in the day, and I want to get JT on here, Jamal Tinsley on here, because me and JT were good friends. And when he played for the Pacers, I went to visit him and stay with him, and we went out to a couple playoff games. But I remember when we lost against Hampton, and he missed a layup at an NCAA tournament, and it was a shot he normally makes, and he missed it. He showed up to campus like the next week with the brand new Escalade. This was 2021 Escalade. And he popped open the back of the trunk, and we had a bottle of Moet that was like 3 feet tall.
Yeah.
We parked, and man, this is a nice truck. I mean, that Escalade had just kind of came out. It was just getting big. And then 3 days later, the NCAA was on campus investigating him for shaving points. And I'm like, I get he missed a layup, and he missed some shots that he typically would make. But do you really think he was shaving? And then it came out, that I think some of his family member bought it for him. But he was going to the league. He didn't do anything illegal. But it's that speculation. And now they have the proof, and they can look at different records and different things. And you do it on Iowa State's Wi-Fi. You have a digital media presence everywhere you go. If you connect it to Wi-Fi, anybody can trace anything that you do. And Iowa State was the big school for like Napster. We had all the MP3s. I see Tricky Trey on there.
yeah.
We had every song because we were like the ahead of the class on like data, speeds, and technology. And so you're gonna find some engineering school. They're gonna find a way to find you.
Yep.
And this is what something that I just don't understand is like, how can you call yourself a teammate and do this? So like Hunter's teammates won't respect him if he made it to that next level because of this. Like it's something that you did that, can I trust you to have the best interest for the team in there? Because it's not an individual sport. It's not like golf. It's not an individual sport or tennis, and it just hurts. And it hurts because, for one thing is because Iowa State fans are Cyclones forever true, as we always say. And this year, and not just because of the 100-year anniversary of Jack and we have all this stuff going on, but it's because we had high hopes for this year. We were just on the cusp last year, and then this year we should be there. We should be actually able to compete and prove ourselves, especially with some new teams in the league. We got 14 teams now.
Yeah.
Like we was gonna compete. We was gonna be there. BYU there now. We're gonna play BYU this year. We're playing Cincinnati this year. Like we were able to prove and show some things. And now I don't know what happens with our season. I know we don't have our quarterback, and what does that do? We go second man up. He should be ready. Get that. But what does that do? Because are we going to have any other implications of games that we possibly won with that? What are the other things that can happen to this season? I know that tomorrow's the deadline because the Pac-12 only has 4 teams in it, and tomorrow's the deadline for them to make that move. It has to be done by tomorrow, so I don't know what's going to happen there. But what does that do for us? What does that do for us in the future? This year, is this season lost for us?
I don't think it's lost. It's going to be lingering for a minute, though, because unfortunately, Coach Campbell's going to have to keep fielding these questions until everything is done. So it almost becomes a distraction in a sense. I mean, I know Coach Campbell doesn't allow that type of stuff to, really affect the team so much, but I mean, you can't stop chatter. You know what I'm saying? You can't stop the internet. You can't stop trolls. People are going to be like, oh, well, it's Sin City now, you know what I'm saying? Like big time Sin City in Ames, you know what I'm saying?
Hey,
also,
you throw that picture up.
But
you got a picture.
I don't think it's changed.
Oh, okay.
I put it on Twitter. Somebody, I sent it to ship to y'all, like, because
I saw.
You gotta have a sense of humor about it, like
100%.
You got Trey, my guy, be on there. But we'll keep going. I feel you. I feel what you're saying.
I mean, we're going to be young in those positions, but luckily for us, because of injuries and all of that stuff, a lot of the other guys behind have had a chance to play. That's it. Welcome to Sin City, baby.
We there.
It's a play. It's funny. Like, you got to laugh at it because it is. I mean, it's what's been going on. Like, Zooming it. Hold on, why you put my foundation? I found it. But why you gotta call me out like that shit? Our producer, I'm firing him. Man, now you get me in trouble, dude. Oh man, but it was funny when I saw that. I'm like, this is funny. You gotta laugh because you gotta cry because again, you laugh at these things, but you don't know what's gonna happen next, and you gotta laugh to keep them crying sometimes. And it's some fans. You see how people react when have lost to a team you should win against, and then again, this is just putting another thing on the back. We've already felt like we've had a target on our back. I mean, again, looking at the games last year, refs took us out of some of those games. Absolutely. 4 or 5 of them games. Like it should have been a little closer. We should have won some of them games. And again, what was the reason of that, and what's going to happen this year? And then that's just the scary part about this. We don't know anything about basketball yet. We're talking about football right now because that's right around the corner, but we don't know what else is going on because they found this why did they start looking into this situation? Now they're going to start looking into more situations. They don't know what the leak was on this, how this came about, but it's not going to end here. I mean, it's not going to end for Iowa or Iowa State. Like this more stuff.
Pandora's box is open.
Yeah. Well, but at the same time, if it's happening, it needs to stop. Yeah. So no one is above the program. The rules are what the rules are. And like I said, like I remember not being able to get a ride from, the dorms to the Hilton for practice from one of the coaches because it was against the rules. And so if that's against the rules and you got to be where you got to be and you got to do what you got to do and you got to make it happen, we know everyone is not going to be a pro, but let's be real. Each and every one of us that steps onto a collegiate field, court, or whatever, the aspirations is to be a professional at that,
Absolutely.
sport. So if you got to sacrifice some things, like I sacrificed a ton. I tell the story all the time. Like I was in mid my sophomore year when I said to myself, thinking, walking to the Hilton Coliseum, 9 inches of snow. If I came to a school to get paid, I went to the wrong damn university. Looking up at the Hilton, walking up the stairs, thinking to myself, I came to the wrong school if I came to a school to get paid. But I understood it, and I was fine with it because I saw what we were transforming, and the rest is history. But like I said, if it's happening, it needs to stop. I hate it. It's happening to us first or whatever, and we're losing such key players because we all know, and I've said before, football is my favorite sport. It's been my entire life, and it still is. And I get up for football season, the NFL preseason that started, and now we're getting ready for the college season to start. And I'm not gonna lie and act like this is not hitting me, square in my chest, because I'm looking for those bragging rights. I'm looking for to be that school that wasn't such a dynamic school on the football program, and these guys have made that history to bring us out of that, and we're competing in the Big 12, and I'm looking forward to that happening again.
So do you think that there should be some kind of, because from what the articles are saying, some of them have done like one person I think went by their middle name and their last name, so they didn't use their first name. Some of them are using their parents' names and parents' accounts. When you have a son or daughter in a collegiate sport where it's illegal to bet on a collegiate sport, and parents, have that on there, that now the parents can't go in there and say, hey, they can say, hey, throw this game. I'm putting $100, I put $1,000 down. I'm putting my life savings down on here. Y'all need to lose this game. But it's like, okay, so if somebody's not going to make it to that next level, they'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, that's going to help our family out. But somebody's really thinking like, no, that's not going to help our family out, mom and dad. Let's not do that. But do you think family members should be, banned from this as well? Because just because it's not the kid doing it themselves, if the kid is working with their parents or with their uncle or with their cousin or whatever, should there be some restrictions on, family members betting on games when they have a son or daughter playing in it?
Well, I mean, that there's always going to be that gray area, and there's always going to be that loophole. Yeah. One of the things that I've said for the longest, like, they always said, they're never going to bring a pro team to Vegas because, they don't want you. I'm like, well, that makes no sense because, if it's a cousin of mine, a second or third or fourth cousin, and he got a couple homeboys down the line, if I gave them the money and they flew to Vegas or whatever, how would you know? Mm-hmm. Well, if that's a gray area and that's a loophole, stay within that gray area and that loophole. Don't be creating it for yourself. When you're doing it for yourself, like that's too close. Like, don't even engage in any of that because we're living in a time of information superhighway, and they will track it down if they need to. You're not thinking about the fact, I'm not condoning violence and definitely murder or anything like that. But you see these shows like First 48 and stuff like that, and it's like the person does it, and then they go and whatever to bury the body and all that different stuff, and they got their cell phone with them, never making a call, but it's pinging on all the cell phone towers. Like, you hadn't seen enough of these crime shows to know that at least leave your phone at home. Like,
it's coming, it's coming back.
Like how'd you guys find me? Because dummy, you had your iPhone 12 in your pocket, and we just ping you the along the way. So if you're going to do it, be smarter about it. Again, I'm not telling you to do it, but if you're doing it and you're doing it the wrong way, then the consequences are what they are.
Yeah,
I think to go back to your original question I think immediate family should have an axe over them too, because they do have immediate access to you, your mom and dad, people in your household,
right.
And if we're being honest, when you're getting recruited, a lot of these coaches are finding out your relationships, like who you're really tight with, what I'm saying, the family you keep close. So at least those people should probably stay away from betting too. Now, like you said, Marcus, shit, you got a cousin that's, 2 or 3, removed, and you got some friends. Okay. But that's different because we don't really have access to them. That's not somebody you talk to all the time. But I think that immediate family, y'all need to ex-nay that too. Because this is a part of it. Because now, especially now with these NIL, kids are getting checks.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Well, if we're gonna pay your kid this money, we're gonna take care of him and take care of you. The least you can do is not bet on these games.
Right.
I think that's a fair trade.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because as a parent, I wouldn't jeopardize my son losing his scholarship. I ain't about to pay for no college. You know what I'm saying?
Not.
I ain't about to pay for it. So yeah, that's cool. I'll stay out of it if that's the case.
Yeah.
Listen, with a lot of the stuff with my boys, especially my oldest son, who's like I said, he's a pro now. But when he was in college and different things that was going on, I used to always tell him, even with girls, you better know what you're doing, son, because you're grown now.
Yeah.
And it's I don't care, what people think or money wise or whatever. There's some stuff that money can't get you out being above the age of 18. And like Marcus Jr. is grown now, even though he just graduated high school and stuff like that. You of age now that dad can come get you out without we got to change all your insurance stuff into your name. Like mom and dad can't even talk to the doctor no more because you're legally an adult. So you better figure out and know what you're doing. And if you do something that you're not supposed to be doing and I can't help you with that, hey, son, you're just going to have to sit because, what am I going to do? Like, we raised you better than that. And if you know what's going on, I trust you to do the smart thing. Simple as that.
Yeah. You mean that's you hit it on the head. It's it's wrong. You shouldn't be doing it. And you taking that chance, and it's, you're an adult now. So you got to deal with the consequences. And I know he took the season away, because you got to get away from this. You got to focus on what your defense is going to be. But I'm trying to figure out what the defense is going to be. I didn't know, what is your defense? I mean, and for $12,000 that you $12,000 when you have the potential to make $12 million.
Right.
Man, that's crazy.
Or 120, even if it was $120,000, $12,000, do something to get that NIL. Go work with the We Will Collective. Get some money there. Get some T-shirts made. Show up on the field this season and then improve yourself. Then you can get that name, image, and likeness type money, and they'll give you that $12,000 or that $20,000 that you could have possibly made. You can get that in that NIL for the year. And even with Iowa State, when they started doing these deals, you actually, I don't know if it was around when you were there, Brent, but you get a certain amount. If you stay in good standing in the community and the university, once you graduate, there is some money that's out there for some graduating students. I don't know if it's new, but $23,000, you up to $23,000 you can get, when you graduate on good standing. It's something with built in some money. I was reading on that when I was trying to do all the research for this program today, but it's something that they got to do.
That retro's back.
You still get 2 tickets to every home game,
Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah. So, but yeah, no, this is gonna be something that we're gonna be talking about basically on every episode from now until through the season, because something's gonna come up. Right. It's not something we're gonna dwell on. We had to get out and talk about it today because this is what is out there right now that's really affecting our season as it's starting. We got less than a month before the season starts for us. And it's different. It's going to be different, man. And it's you're going to walk into that stadium and this is going to be a different feeling because, we're all fans. We're always going to be the fans of it. But, you have that how is it going to be today? It's going to start off bad. And you're going to think, it's going to get worse. It can get better. You just don't know. You're just going to be cardiac kids like the Browns. We cardiac kids. That's why we got the best hospital for hearts in the country because the Browns, they keep us that way, up and down and up and down, So, but we'll see how this season goes. We like I said, we always support these dudes that's on the team. Hope the best for them given all this. Hope that they can shine this year. Given some of the cloud that's hanging over us, but it's still gonna be a good year. It's still gonna be Cyclones. It's still gonna be supporting it. So we're gonna still do our thing.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna be supporting it, but man, this is gonna be hard.
Yes,
it's about to be tough.
I'm going back for the Jack Trice game. I'm going to the BYU game up in BYU. I want to go to the Texas game since it's the last time we'll play Texas in that stadium. I do want to go as a fan and be out there and see that possibly. I got some people down there Go down to Austin and see what that's about. Go to Franklin Barbecue and get some Franklin's barbecue down there too.
You're gonna be waiting in the line for that, Joe.
You know, I'll pay somebody that's early in the line. I'll pay them extra, you know. But yeah, no. So it's like, you know, it's gonna be a season for us. Excited to look at that. But I'd be remiss if I didn't shout out as we close this out. I got nothing to say on that one, but Tyrese Halliburton, number 4, USA, Team USA. He's doing his thing. So I mean, I want to shout him out. I mean, I've been seeing Monte doing some things. I want to shout all the basketball players out. Omaha, saw them down there too. So he's getting ready for us now. So shouts out to them. So I'm looking forward to see what this basketball team does as well. You know, we're in Orlando for the tournament this Thanksgiving, and then next year we're in Hawaii for the Thanksgiving. And you know, hey, Maui, that's just devastating. I think the count was last I saw 99 for the count. Yeah. You know, that's devastating. That volcano going off, and I've been there, and it's beautiful. I mean, I've been to Maui once. I mean, I've only been out there once, and it was a beautiful place to be. And then I did the road to Hana and all that stuff, and you know, you see this, and it's just that devastation.
Yeah, shout out to George Condit.
Yeah,
he's playing for the Puerto Rican national team, and also his the professional team that he played for down in the BSN. His team won a championship, and that's a fun league. Like when I got a little older and you know, was bouncing around to different leagues and stuff like that, they called me down into Puerto Rico, and it was like a summer league type thing, whatever that they were doing, and the league was starting up and beginning to be real big. And me and Tractor Trailer and Antoine Walker, we played on the team together. A lot of NBA pros. Andre Emmett played down with me too. Rest in peace to Dre and to Tractor Trailer. But it's a real fun league. So I know he's getting some reps up, learning a lot about how to be a pro down there. You know, a lot of people think when you play overseas in different places like that, it's easy. Not easy at all. They make you work and they make you earn your pay down there. So definitely shout out to him. I mean, I played down in that league and lost in the finals, Game 7 to Tractor Trailer. So he's done another thing that I want him to do. So definitely big shout out as he continued to grow and play for the Puerto Rican national team for sure.
Still wife back there. Who back there behind you?
Oh, that's my niece.
That's your niece over there. What's up?
Yeah, she can't. She
ain't gonna talk. She ain't gonna say nothing. She can't hear it because you got the headphones on.
She's not even supposed to be in the camera. What you doing, man?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened to Royce White. Last time I saw Royce White, that's the first time I had reconnected with Marcus. That was at the basketball tournament when you was coaching.
Yeah,
and that was the last time I saw Royce. Anybody heard or seen what happened with Royce?
He's playing in the Big Three. You know, doing the things that he does. He's really into, you know, the being a great advocate for what he believes in. Royce is a really smart, misunderstood guy. Very headstrong. Of course, we know, you know, being at Iowa State and you know, watching them come up and grow into being a man. But he's doing well. You know, definitely, you know, spearheading a lot of things that he wanted to do in life. The NBA route and all that didn't work out for him, but you know, he's in a good headspace. You know, we talk a lot. I converse a lot with his mom on Facebook and things like that. So he's doing well, and he's definitely wreaking havoc in the Big Three. In the Big Three, he definitely still is a monster and a beast to try to control on the basketball floor. And I love seeing it.
That's what's up. What y'all want to get out there before we close? We're gonna close it out. We've been on for about an hour, so we're gonna close it out. What y'all want to say? We couldn't call PJ Runge today because he's 2 rows away from John Legend at the concert in Chicago right now. So he asked me not to call him today.
You don't got a rose in his mouth.
Could have watched some of the concert.
You don't got a rose in his mouth.
We're just ordinary people.
That's it.
Oh my gosh, we're sponsoring the whole.
So 3 Biz whole collective. Okay, the women's basketball team on September 12th. Okay, that's what's up. We're Trice Legacy supporting Wagner Golf. Ben Wagner at Wagner Golf. They're having a tournament on the 27th. We're a whole sponsor there. So we have joined the Ames and Des Moines Chamber of Commerce. we need to get indoctrinated into the state of Iowa, and we are revamping what we do as we go into our 4th year, which is September 20th. And so we now are part of the teams there, and we will have a ceremonial ribbon cutting on the Friday before the Jack Trice 100 game at noon on Friday the 6th. I'll be cutting the ceremonial ribbon, welcoming us into the Chamber of Commerce. So we want to make sure that Ames, Des Moines, the state of Iowa know that we are part of y'all. So we want to support that.
I'll try to slide out before the game.
That's what's up.
Night, so yeah, that's
what's up. Marcus, anything
I'm
to
actually show up though. I'm actually show up.
Wow. So you know what?
I'm just saying. It's
I ain't even
like 15 times. Hey man, I'm gonna come. Hey man. Hey man. Hey.
Nah, man. Just as excited about the football season. Like I said, in NFL and the college football season. Just trying to stay healthy. Everybody stay healthy. Keep the kids healthy. Keep everyone, in great spirits. And hopefully we don't get stung anymore about what's going on with this whole betting scandal and all of that. But we'll see. Hope for the best.
No doubt. Well, hey, Side of Storm signing out. Three Beards Media. Revelton is our sponsor. Brent Curvey, Marcus Pfizer, and your man George Trice. We will see y'all next week. We're going to keep this cadence going. Sometimes it might just be me if they can't jump on. Sometimes it might be them if I can't jump on. But we want to make sure we give y'all the content y'all want. So keep subscribing wherever you subscribe to your podcast at, or watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and wherever else we are. Worldwide.
Yes,
Worldwide.
That's it.